Hello everyone, my name is Ipatov and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video we're going to take a look at how to use an outside pass pawn in the pawn endgame. So let's take a look at the position. So what do we see? At the moment we see that black is much more advanced. So his pawns are on f4, h4 and g5. Meanwhile our pawns are on f3, h3 and g2. So black holds some has more space on the king side, so because his pawns are more advanced. The same holds true for the queen side. I mean, black has his pawn on c4, which is quite advanced, I would say. Meanwhile, we have our pawn on a2. So does it mean that black is better? Well, let's not be in a hurry. Let's think, because we have an outside pass pawn. I mean, I'm referring to white in this position. So, in my opinion, if someone is better in this position, only white can be better. I don't know whether it's true. I'm saying this based on my experience and my knowledge, but we're going to check this versus a training bot on chess.com and see what happens. Maybe I'm wrong. So before I play my first move, I want to share my opinion. Why do I think that white is better? So as I already said, black has more space on both sides, on the queen side and the king side. However, we have the outside pass pawn. Our a2 pawn is much more important than the black's advanced pawn c4. Why? Because we can use our a pawn in order to distract the opponent's king from the king side and go and win the black pawns there with our king. So we've seen this already in a few other videos, in the outside pass pawn video or the extra pass pawn video. And let's see if this holds true for this position as well. So I'm going to play move a3 check. My idea is to get the c3 square for my king. Okay, so now I'm going to play king c3. King takes c4. So what do we see in this position? We see that our a pawn was exchanged for black c pawn, and now our king is a bit closer to the king side than the opponent's king. However, his pawns are more advanced, so if black manages to eliminate our g2 pawn, I mean, this won't be any good for us. So king d3. My idea is to go towards the black pawns, meanwhile cutting the black's king's pass to the king side. So I played king d3. Maybe it's not that important because black played king c1 and is going to play king d1, king e1 anyways. However, it illustrates an important thing, an important method in the endgame, which is called putting a shouldering the opponent's king. So king d2. Here did not work, but I just wanted to show a bit more about this method. Well, I think computer does not put the best resistance. King c2 is definitely not the move to play. I think black should have played king e2. Let's try to analyze this position, because I don't like how black defended here. So let me press the analyze board. So in this position, so let's go on from the beginning. I'm going to switch off the engine. So I played move a3 check. The idea was to get the c3 square for my king. So black played king a4. I played king c3, king takes a3, king c4. And now we see that our king is a bit closer to the king side than the opponent's king. And now the both king are running towards the king side and see who wins the opponent's pawns first. So king d3. Here try to highlight the method called shouldering. It was not that effective in this position because anyways the black king could go to c file. By the way, it would have been much more effective that if the black king were on b3, then we would have gained a tempi because the black king would been unable to go to c2. Okay, king c1, king e4, king d2, king f5, and here computer played move king c2, which does not make any sense. If black wants to do something, he has to go and eliminate our g2 pawn. So I think black should play king e2. Then I would have taken. Okay, black's best chance would be to come closer and eliminate our g2 pawn. However, I think this would not work because I could have taken an f4 or h4, for example, an f4, king takes g2 and king g4, and I protect my h3 pawn, so black is not going to win it. And my plan is easy. I'm just going to promote my f pawn into queen. So it seems as the initial position was indeed winning for white. So let's summarize again what happened. So despite black being ahead in space, having more space, this was white who had an advantage in the initial position because of our outside pass pawn. So I'm referring to the a2 pawn here, which had more value than the black's advanced pawn c4. And our plan was to destruct the opponent's king first from the c3 square and then from the king side by the idea of advancing our a pawn. So the black king had to stop it, and meanwhile we went with our king and won all of the black pawns on the king side. So I hope you find this video useful. Once again, this video was on how to use an outside pass pawn in a pawn endgame. Thank you for watching, and it was Alex Ipatov, and see you in the next videos.